Hello and welcome back to DeVlog, and we are here at StrangeForms Festival, and I am talking to Agnes from the wonderful Cwfen. You've just been on.
Yes.
How was that?
It was great. It was so nice to be in such a busy room and to see so many people, you know, coming down slightly earlier to see us as well. And there's just nothing better than looking out and seeing people like actually moving to the music. Just a lovely energy in the room and a really, really nice room to play. So
Absolutely. As I said to you just before the interview, I've been living inside your new upcoming record, Sorrows.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Since Simon sent it to me earlier on this week, and I don't look gothy, but I do like the dark arts. And yes, that's only one part of the story, though, isn't it? The goth, because it's heavy as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's interesting because like I'm quite happy with the word goth, and I know not everyone likes to associate that with their music, but for me, that we're all such we listen to such a broad range of things, and the way I've described it to people is I think it's quite an emotionally heavy record as well as being quite sonically heavy, and I think emotional weight is goth.
Absolutely. I mean, and the tones in the guitars. I always listen out for tones, and it's beautiful. I mean, you've obviously done your homework on the effects and stuff like that. Because even live today, it sounded just like it sounds on the record. It sounded. It didn't lose anything. So that's. Was that quite important to you to keep it like authentic?
Yeah, I think for us as well. Like we, when we initially got together, we did a couple of demos just to get some gigs. So we hadn't really played them live at that point. And then when we started playing them live, we realized how heavy we were, and that kind of really helped shape the album sound as well. But I think if you listen to the tones and the things that we've done, they're not necessarily things that you might associate with a metal record.
Yes.
So there's a lot of brightness in there. There's everything's very washed in reverb. But you know, Guy likes to use aluminium necks, and for me, space echo is something that's very important as well. Like that's a pedal that's been on my board forever, and that the mixture of something that's quite ethereal and washy, then real grunt and heft, and that really comes through in the rhythm section as well.
Yeah, I was going to say your drummer is a powerhouse.
He's an absolute machine. And our bass player as well. So it's all quite self-reinforcing. And I think for us, when we went in to make the record, we wanted it to sound like us. We didn't want it to sound massively overproduced. And what we really did is, I suppose we kind of broke a lot of the rules in terms of production. We really pushed things past the point of comfort, and we've come out with something that we think is, you know, as a reasonable enough mirror to what we do on stage. We want to get the energy of it as well, which I hope comes across.
Absolutely. What comes across in spades is how fresh it sounds. I mean, one of my personal bugbears, and I've spoken about this at length, I think my viewers are completely sick of it, but it's how over-processed music's become recently, and like metalcore and just overproduced. And I really respond well to, like, you know, the fact that the goth side of things is coming back in, and so authentically so. You've got bands like Zetra.
Oh yeah, love those guys.
Yeah, and who are an electronic band, but don't sound really organic and beautiful. And I'm just loving this resurgence of this sound as a reaction to what's been a bit safe for a while.
Yeah, it has been, and I think, you know, if you listen to a lot of records, they do kind of, you know, they're all very compressed. And we didn't want that. You know, if I think back to a record that was really important to me when I was younger, was like Rid of Me by PJ Harvey. And it's one of those ones that you have to really fight the hi-fi when it's on, because there's bits that are really quiet, it's real dynamic range, and then really loud in your face bits. And, you know, and I think that's how we are live as well. So we wanted to make sure that we captured all of that on the recording too. Yeah,
it's definitely very raw, and you definitely play with like authentic, you know, you're in the moment, you know. So I think I'm very excited to see what, you know, the next couple of years has for you. Like, you know, is there any big plans afoot for the summer?
Well, we are on tour with Faitooth, which we're very excited about. So we have been listening to their record on repeat since that one came out. So we're absolutely delighted to be joining them for the UK leg of their tour. And getting back to playing, I think, as well, you know, and writing some new tunes. We've got our album obviously coming out on the 30th of May. And so we've got this run. We've got 2 shows with Castle Rat as well, which we're very excited about. We're joining them for the Scottish leg of their tour. And then, getting back to doing some writing because, you know, it never stops. We've got to do the next record.
And I've got to mention, like, so you're from Edinburgh, right?
Glasgow.
Glasgow.
Yeah.
Glasgow. Now there's a town I know a lot about. Because Glasgow's music scene's always been utterly inspiring. I mean, I'm a big Mogwai fan anyway. And it's quite an inspirational place to be, Glasgow, I think.
I think there's something really special happening in the scene right now, particularly within the heavy music genres. And what I really love about the scene there as well is everyone comes out and supports. It's not just, you know, the metalcore fans go to the metalcore and the death metal fans go to the death metal show. There's people show up in force and there's this lovely sort of cross-pollination of influences because people are exposing themselves to lots of different things. So there's bands like Mrs. Fright House who are doing this like really amazing like goth noise stuff, and then you've got people like Coffin Mulch who are doing like really awesome death metal, and it's just, it feels like something really special is happening in that scene right now, and they've welcomed us with open arms, which has been so lovely.
That's awesome.
So playing hometown shows are, you know, they're always lovely, and it's also really nice to represent Glasgow when we go out and about, because I think people know that something's happening in that music scene right now, and it's definitely been a good thing for us.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I was actually thinking about it. I went to a free Glasgow band bill not long ago, actually. Dead Pony, Gallus, and I forgot who the other band are. I do apologise, but they were punk. But it was like 3 totally different bands, but all like consolidated on this bill. And it was it's exactly what you've just been referring to. So it sounds like it's a very inspirational time for Glasgow.
It is, and I think, you know, Scotland has a strong legacy of music as well, and I think what's really interesting is to see this beautiful like emergence of really heavy music coming from Glasgow as well, and I think that's a really nice and interesting thing. And you know, I think there's lots of great bands to check out, and the gigs are always busy, and that feels good as a performer.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for talking to me today. But there's one last question.
Yes. Okay.
And this is a question I've asked everyone I've interviewed this year, from like the Melvins to yourself to like all different sorts of genres of music. Now, if the Board of Education came to you and said, can you pick a song we put on the national curriculum for someone who's about to reach the age of 18 to set them up for adulthood? What do you think everyone should listen to? Any genre.
What should everybody listen to?
Every child, you know.
Every child. Do you know what? I'm going to pick something really sort of out there. And I'm going to say, can I say a record? I would say Ghosteen by Nick Cave, because I think that it does something very interesting with music. The storytelling, the dynamics, the vulnerability, the rawness of it, and then you know, absolute sort of layers of production. I think it's really magical, and I think that's one for me that when I played to my own kids, the car went quiet. And everyone listened. So I think that's, I think he's someone that I really admire, both as his work ethic. He's someone that turns up and works every day, like a 9 to 5. And to think that someone does that and then can produce something as beautiful and artistic as that, I think
I love that answer. I love that answer. And this is going to be on the Spotify playlist at the end of the year. So there you go. Thank you very much for joining me today, welcome. Agnes. And once again, wonderful performance.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.